I'm Lindsay from The Smart Single Mom. Welcome to my channel. So earlier today, I had this whole to-do list of things that I really wanted to get done, right? I needed to get this video made and write a blog post and plan my son's birthday party, and had this whole list of things that I planned to check off today. And like any good procrastinator, instead, I spent a couple hours shopping and cleaned my house a little bit and checked some emails, and before you knew it, half the day was gone and I was going, where did the time go? Y'all ever have this problem where you have all these big plans and then somewhere along the way you just didn't accomplish what you set out to accomplish today? You procrastinated. So I called my sister and I'm like, look, I've got all these things that I need to get done, but I haven't gotten any of them done. And she said, Lindsay, you know how you are. Quit overanalyzing. You're overthinking things. You just need to get something done. And so I figured, what better way to beat my own procrastination and maybe also help a few of y'all in the process than to brainstorm 3 different ways to overcome procrastination. So that's what we're talking about today. The first tip for overcoming procrastination is to minimize distractions. It's just the world that we live in today, that there are distractions everywhere competing for our attention, between the TV and the phone and social media and email notifications. It's constant. And so if you really want to focus and get things done, you have to find ways to cut out all the noise and minimize those distractions. This means you may need to find a new environment that's quieter and more conducive to getting your work done, where you can focus. It may mean turning your phone on silent and setting it to the side, turning the TV off, whatever you need to do to cut out a little bit of that background noise and really be able to focus in on what it is that you need to get done. So that's tip number 1, minimize distractions. The second thing that you can do to beat that procrastination and get more done is eat that frog. Maybe some of you have heard of the book. I think it's Brian Tracy that wrote Eat That Frog. But basically the premise is to knock out that big task, whatever it is that you have been putting off and not getting done. Go ahead and get that knocked out first thing in the morning, and then that all the other tasks after that will be easier. I love this advice because it's so true. Whatever that thing is that you keep putting off and procrastinating doing, whether it's cleaning up your house, your space. I know when my house is not organized, it makes everything else really, really hard to focus on. Or it could be like me recording this YouTube video. Whatever the big thing that you keep putting off is, go ahead and take some action and get it done. And the thing is, normally, once you've done the task, it's really not as bad as you thought it would be. You feel so much better once you've gotten it done. And it tends to have a snowball effect. So once you've gotten something done that you were putting off, it makes it a lot easier to get those smaller tasks done after that. The third little tip for beating procrastination and getting more done is to set a time limit on your tasks that you need to get done. I used to make all these to-do lists, right? I'm not talking about just like one to-do list. I'm talking about I would have like 7 of them at a time. So one in my purse and one on my desk and one in my planner. And they were all over the place, just things that I jotted down that I needed to get done. And I was no closer to getting those things done than before I had made the 7 lists. So what I started doing that really helped was to put a time limit on some of these tasks. For instance, instead of just writing down on my to-do list to record a YouTube video, I will think about, when am I going to have time to record this video? And then I'll go ahead and block off time in my calendar or my planner to get it done. Then it kind of gives me a deadline and more of a concrete timeline of when I need to get it done. So I realized when I was thinking about all this, when I was in school, I was never late on a project deadline or a grade. And at work, I don't ever miss a deadline at work. And so I started thinking, well, why am I so much better at getting professional deadlines met, but my personal tasks, I just keep procrastinating? That's why putting a time limit on these things really helps to give you a cutoff of, it needs to be done by this day. Now, it's not set in stone, and it doesn't mean that things don't come up and eventually a task may have to be bumped back to another day. That kind of thing happens, right? It's life. Mom life. But for the most part, it holds me more accountable and gives me a specific date that I want to have it done. And so I'm more likely to accomplish it than it just being another task on a list. So yeah, that's it. That's my 3 tips for beating procrastination, being more productive, and getting stuff done. Obviously, I need these tips as much as y'all do. So if you have any other tips to add to this list, leave them in the comments for me. Make sure to hit the subscribe button, and thanks for watching. I'll see y'all next time.